A few seasons ago, a show called Gleipnir aired. I watched it and dropped it after about 3 or so episodes. Why? Well, because I kind of felt that it was, well, weird, and that there was a lot of pointless shit happening, and in all honesty, after having rewatched it, yeah, that still stands true. However, I do think it's at least worth watching in pretty much its entirety. In terms of its story, it's just a regular old battle show with a pretty decent mystery aspect, multiple mysteries strung throughout it that are actually pretty interesting, and if I could be bothered to read the rest of the manga, or the show it enticed me enough to want to read it to figure out the rest of the story, I would read the manga to figure out these answers, albeit I don't think it's that good that you should go out of your way to read the source material. Albeit, if you like the story and want to find out the rest, obviously go ahead, but personally, I don't think it's a good enough anime to make you want to read the source material. But anyway, as for the story, it's not half bad. It does a decent job of, like I said, establishing these mysteries, the power system. Well, the power system is very similar to, like, stands, in that there basically aren't any rules on what the power can be, but they're all very unique and do very different things, but there is very little rules on what these abilities can and can't do, as you'll see if you watch the show. The characters, they're pretty good actually. I do like them. They get a pretty decent development throughout the story, at least the main two do. The side characters, they don't really get a lot, but they're not bad. They're there, and they're actually quite enjoyable. At least, you know, the main ones are. The villains are pretty one-dimensional in that a lot of, well, yeah, they're kind of one-dimensional in the fact that they're bad guys, but they're not completely bad. And that's kind of the setup for all of them that I've seen from the first, like, 12 episodes. I say first 12 episodes, there are only 12 episodes. So, the villains, they're not all that interesting, albeit we do get introduced to one that has a backstory right at the end. You don't get to see much of him because he is presumably the big villain of the first major part of the show, or the story, which is what the anime covers, and given that that's all it covers, it does a very good job. As for the problems with the show, well, as I mentioned, there's a lot of weirdness. It is very strange, which can be a plus or a minus depending on what you're into, but for me, when I first watched it, I thought it was a negative. After rewatching it, it's a bit 50-50. Sometimes the weirdness is pretty good, sometimes not so good. And on top of being overly weird, this show is just a little bit too horny. Like, there are plenty of shows out there that are too horny. Some of them without reason, and this is one of them. There's no real reason for the ecchi scenes in this show other than a little bit of fan service, and it kind of takes away from certain parts of the show, but maybe that's just me. Could be my opinion on it. Maybe you like it, maybe you think the ecchi scenes in Gleipnir add to the, like, quality of the story. Personally, I don't. I think it's a complete waste and defeats, well, not defeats the point, but, like, takes away from some of it. That's the problem with the use of ecchi, and maybe I'll do a video talking about the right and wrong uses of ecchi, in my opinion, in the future. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Gleipnir. And I'll touch on one final thing before I leave you to go decide whether you want to watch the show yourself or not, is that the music absolutely fucking slaps. Like, the music is fire. Like, the soundtrack's really good. And with that, that'll do for talking about Gleipnir. Go watch it if you want. Personally, I think it's not bad. It's a decent enough show. It's not worth... it's worth watching, I think. But it's not, like, you know, incredibly special. But anyway, with that being said, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, sub, hit the notification bell, you know the usual YouTube thing. And I've been ℌ𝔬𝔯𝔫𝔶, you've been you. And I hope to see you all next time for another video. Ta-ta, for now.